Oh, Jamar Chase with the dive. Because Garrett Wilson's wide open. Garrett Wilson, touchdown Bears. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here in the What a Juice channel, and welcome back to another Madden rebuild. Today we are going to be taking on a requested video, requested team. We're going to be trying to rebuild the 2015 San Francisco 49ers. This could be a weird one because it could very well be a pretty easy one like the 2017 Eagles was, or it could be a little bit more difficult because this team is a little bit older. They've got a lot of players, a lot of very talented, well-known, possible Hall of Fame players on this team, but they're all past their prime, you could say. So we're going to figure out what to do with a lot of these guys. There's some interesting names on this team. We're going to find out how good this team can play and how well I can rebuild it. So if you guys are excited, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. If you want to leave a team suggestion for me to rebuild, leave them down below in the comments of any of my videos, but especially this one too. I have the mods for 2015, obviously, 2017, modern day, obviously, for regular Madden, college football, 2008, 1994, whatever you want out of the ones I've listed and the ones you've seen me put videos out of previously, leave a team down below and I will take them into consideration and possibly do them in a future video. Today is the 2015 Niners. I'm excited, but also a little bit worried. So let's get into it. The 2015 San Francisco 49ers are going to be very, very interesting. As you can see, this is our offense. There's not a whole lot of development traits on this offense, and there's a lot of older, talented players, but older players. And maybe the most controversial man of all time, in the NFL at least, is Colin Kaepernick. It looks like they took out his actual in-game model, but that's okay. Colin Kaepernick is our quarterback. 27 years old, 4 years in the league, normal development. This could be the first rebuild in a while where I've actually got to focus on a quarterback. I mean, maybe Kaepernick is the guy for us, but at only 72 overall and already 27 years old, he's probably not going to make it toward the end of the video where we're hopefully winning a Super Bowl. So we're going to have to probably look at quarterbacks in the next couple drafts. Most likely this 2016 NFL draft, because if we don't have a quarterback, then the team can't go forward. I guess we could do the old strategy of building the rest of the team around the quarterback and then we find it later on and then we just automatically are ready to go instead of getting the quarterback first. There's different ways to do it, but I guess we'll find out. We've also got Reggie Bush as the running back with young Carlos Hyde. So we'll have to figure out the running back spot too, because Reggie Bush, I'm pretty sure, is 30 years old. So he's not anywhere near what he was in his prime. By the way, give Reggie Bush his Heisman back. Are we serious right now? Just give him his Heisman back. So the receiving core is old and good. If this was 2010, I don't know. This offense is going to need a lot of work. We've got old Vernon Davis. We've got Joe Staley, who's older. We've got Alex Boone. I don't keep saying Aaron Boone. I did that on another video previously. Alex Boone, who is old. We got Trent Brown, who I think is a young, I was going to say either a rookie or a one-year guy. So that's nice at least. We've got young Trent Brown to possibly build around for the future of this offensive line. But Joe Staley's 31. Alex Boone, I think, is in his 30s, or if not, he's 29. He's 28, okay, so he's not in his 30s yet, but he's going to be there within the next couple of years, so he's going to be getting up there in age, probably need to be replaced. And then the defense comes in, and there's a lot to be done with the defense. We have a young Eric Armstead, which is a nice addition, 72 overall star development player. We will get him some playing time very, very soon, and you know what? He probably starts over Tank Carradine right away, so we need to get him as much play time as possible so he can develop as quickly as possible into the Eric Armstead that we know today. We have Quentin Dial, who has star development, which is nice, but how old is he? He's 25, so Quentin Dial could develop. That's nice. 25 still a decently young age. The cornerback position needs to be rehauled entirely. Free safety Eric Reed I like. Strong safety Jaquiski Tarts is a rookie at 23 years old. Okay, so perfect. So the strong safety, free safety spot, both safeties don't need to be replaced because I think Eric Reed will be able to survive at 23 years old. He'll be able to survive the entire video. So we don't have to worry about safeties the entire video, which is nice. Linebackers, on the other hand, we're probably going to have to focus on. We have Navarro Bowman, who's 27 years old. So maybe he can be our guy for this entire video at middle linebacker, as long as we can keep him around if he doesn't have a contract coming up. But we need to get him some edge help with outside linebackers because Harold's not going to get it done, Brooks is not going to get it done, and there's really no backups behind him. Eli Harold, I guess, is a rookie, so he has more of a chance of getting a higher development than Brooks does, but he's only a 72. I mean, same thing with Armstead. If we get him some playtime, maybe he jumps, but I don't have high hopes for him. So that's what our team looks like. It could, like I said in the intro, it could be an easy one because it's the San Francisco 49ers and they usually simulate pretty well regardless of the mod. But it also could be a difficult one because there's a lot of older players on this team that aren't that high of an overall anymore. So we're going to have to figure this out. I also have one of my favorite head coaches of all time, Jim Tom Sula, as the head coach of the San Francisco 49ers. One of the reasons why I wanted to do this team, not only because it was a suggestion, was because Jim Tom Sula was the head coach. I love Jim Tom Sula because he sucks so bad. All right, so we are in 2015, so we need the 2016 NFL draft class, and you guys know the drill. It's Jared Goff, it's Carson Wentz. Are we going to be able to find our quarterback in this one? Maybe we find it in Dak Prescott. That's a possibility. I'm going to put Goff and Wentz on the list. I'll also put, obviously, Prescott on here. Maybe Dak Prescott is our guy. Running backs, we need to look heavily at running backs. So Zeke and Derrick Henry I'm going to have on here. Even Kenyon Drake. Anybody else? No, not really. What about wide receivers? We need a lot of help at wide receiver. Well, this draft class doesn't really have a lot, does it? Laquan Treadwell, Will Fuller, Michael Thomas, Tyler Boyd. I'm still thinking about that Braxton Miller quarterback simulation, so be on the lookout for that. But this wide receiver class just does not have a whole lot. We might have to wait till 2017 to get some wide receivers in here, but we'll see what happens. Tight ends, we need to replace Vernon Davis. He's getting a little bit up there in age. Hunter Henry, Austin Hooper, Tyler Higbee. I thought there was another one down the board, but it doesn't look like there is. Offensive line, we need to pretty much do the entire offensive line except for maybe right tackle with Trent Brown. So Ronnie Stanley, Laramie Tunsil, Jack Conklin, those guys need to be on there. Cody Whitehair, Connor McGovern, Ryan Kelly, Nick Martin, Isaac Seumalo, Graham Glasgow. Those guys need to be on this list. Joe Tooney needs to be on here. But I've done this draft class plenty of times where I know the development traits of these offensive linemen and stuff. I know that Joe Tooney has one, but he's a low overall. I know that Nick Martin does not, but he's one of the highest players in the class. I think he starts like at 80. He starts mid to high 80s, but he has no development trait. So we got to keep that in mind. I know that Isaac Seumalo starts with normal development and a low overall. So having done these draft classes plenty of times now, you're starting to remember some of the players so you can start to build the most efficient draft classes possible every year. But obviously, every rebuild's not the same, so you don't need the same needs. You don't have the same position needs every single time, so that also factors in. And we know that Tyreek Hill starts super low overall, but he's got superstar development. And he's easy to get because he's lower in the draft. Right tackle, Taylor Decker. We could obviously move him to left tackle if we needed to. Defensive line, DeForest Buckner would be huge. Shaq Lawson, Jihad Ward, Carl Nassib, Yannick Ngakoue. We know his superstar development, but I think superstar development. But he's super low overall. Matt Judon, we know, has star, but he starts like a 59, I think. I'll put Romeo Okwara. I forgot he was in this class. I'll put Romeo Okwara in this list as well. And then defensive line, Joey Bosa, we know we've had him plenty of times before. Emmanuel Ogba, Noah Spence. We know Bosa he's a lower overall, but he has X factor. Kenny Clark at D tackle, we've had him like once or twice. He would be awesome to get. Pair him alongside Eric Armstead and even Quentin Dial, I guess. Robert Kimdiche, normal development. Let's see, Javon Hargrave, David Onyemata, DJ Reader, both low overall guys, but I think DJ Reader has star. I'm pretty sure. Left side linebackers, Leonard Floyd, probably should put on here. Deion Jones develops really, really well. Devondre Campbell's a low overall, but I think he has superstar. Middle linebacker, Reggie Ragland. Blake Martinez has star. Atlanta Roberts, I think, is a low overall, but still a good player. And then right outside linebackers, you got Darren Lee, Jalen Smith, Miles Jack. Both those guys would be awesome to get. We've had Jalen Smith a couple of times. I don't think we've ever had Miles Jack, so we'll keep an eye out for Miles Jack. That could be fun. Corner, we've obviously had both of these guys plenty of times. Jalen Ramsey, Vernon Hargreaves. We know both of them are pretty good in this draft class. Burnt Toast, you got William Jackson III, Xavier Howard, X-Man, James Bradbury, Kendall Fuller, we know as superstar but low overall. Let's see, who else is down here? There's got to be more. There he is. Jonathan Jones has star. Brian Body Calhoun I'll put on here. And that looks to be it. I'll put Mike Hilton on here as a last resort kind of pick. And then we go to free safeties. Kevin Byard, Sean Davis, Von Bell, Justin Simmons. There's some good free safeties on here, but like I said, free safety and strong safety are pretty much figured out for the entire rebuild. So that's one thing we don't really have to worry about because we have two young guys that don't have to upgrade because they're gonna develop. So we don't have to worry about that too much. And then punters, don't need to worry about that. All right, so we've got our board for year number 1. Oh, I need to make sure that our scouts are scouting the right thing. I don't even know what we should scout. Should we scout quarterback? Probably not, right? Interior offensive line D tackle is our 3-star scout. That's not that bad. What other scouts are there at 3-star? You've got middle linebacker, quarterback, defensive end, outside linebacker are 2 big needs for us. That could be big. I might do that one. Because outside linebacker also gives you both left and right outside linebackers. So that could be very useful. And obviously DN gives you right and left. That one could be big. I might fire our guy and hire somebody else. Interior offensive line D end. Ooh. Interior offensive line defensive end is also something we need. That's tough. That's real tough. Do we go with D end outside linebacker? Or do we go with interior offensive line D end? Where is it at? Here it is. I think we go interior offensive line D end. So we're gonna fire this guy because we don't really need defensive tackle. So we're gonna switch his role, fire him, and hire Trisha Dixon. Trisha? I don't know, but she's hired, or they are hired, I guess. There we go. National Scouts. I don't know what the region breakdown I think is wide receiver corner like it usually is for these draft classes. But there we go. That's our scouting figured out. I will go to the end of the season and we will simulate, see how year number 1 goes. All right, I brought you guys back in because I wanted to show you guys the negotiations. We have $159 million in available cap room, so we're going to be able to sign basically whoever we want to bring back. And I don't know if there is anybody that we want to bring back. Reggie Bush is 30 years old, and he's going to regress heavily, so I doubt we're going to bring him back. Andrew Tiller is, hardly know her, is 26, wants to be here, 65 overall. That's a stretch. Vernon Davis, I would consider, even though he's going to regress. Anquan Bolden, just not. There's so many old players on this team. Leon McFadden is 24, so I will offer him like a 3-year deal, I guess. We shouldn't have to pay him too much, maybe like $2.5 million, not even a bonus. He's going to come back, okay. Ian Williams, I will offer to bring back because there's a good chance he's going to have a good season at some point. D tackles usually do, and he wants to be here, so we'll bring him back. Marcus Cromartie, I mean, I just feel like we're going to get better corners, so probably not. Garrett Selleck, no. Alex Boone, I guess, until he retires. He's only 20, or he is 28, not only. He is 28. I'll bring him back until he retires, I guess. I'll give him that much of money, and he says no. Okay, I'll get Alex Boone back. Reggie Bush, no. Andrew Tiller, no. Dawson can walk. He's 40. Vernon Davis wants to come back. I'll give him a contract. We shouldn't have to pay him that much more. And he's going to come back. Okay, perfect. So we get Vernon Davis back. He'll probably stay here till he retires. Anquan Bolden's going to go. Joe Looney's going to go. Just not really worth it. And then everybody else is going to go. I will go and get Alex Boone back before we get to the playoffs. But I won't show you that because I'm just going to offer him like $5 million more dollars than he's going to accept it. So I'm going to go and do that. And I will see you guys at the end of the season. Although, we're 0-7 right now. We are not having the season I expected, but that's good because we could have a good draft pick. Year 1 is in the books, and we finished with only 1 win, which honestly looking back is not that bad because that gives us a lot of flexibility for the future of this rebuild. We're almost guaranteed to have the number 1 overall pick unless a team finished with 0 wins. That's really the only way that we don't get the number 1 overall pick, which I highly doubt. But we're pretty much guaranteed the number 1 overall pick, which we can either take somebody like a quarterback like Jared Goff or Carson Wentz, which I've never actually done in one of these rebuilds. I've never had the number 1 overall pick to take Carson Wentz or Jared Goff. If I had the number 1 overall pick, I would take either trade down or I would take Jalen Ramsey, Zeke, Joey Bosa, other players other than Jared Goff and Carson Wentz because we already had a quarterback. This one's a little bit different. So Goff and Wentz are on the table for me taking with the number 1 overall pick, or we trade down and get a lot more stuff in the future for 2017, 2018. We know those draft classes are very good. So there's a lot of stuff to be taken care of in the offseason, but stats on the season. How did we go 1-15 or 1-16, whatever it was? Yeah, we need a quarterback. Colin Kaepernick's just not going to get it done. He's too low of an overall. 2,900 yards, 10 touchdowns, 14 picks. This also could be a case of we don't have a lot of weapons for him to throw to because Anquan Bolden, Torrey Smith, they're just older, and Vernon Davis is older, so he doesn't have a lot to work with. But also, he just could be bad. I don't know. That's also a possibility. Reggie Bush almost got 1,000 yards, surprisingly. 9-13 and 3 touchdowns. Yeah, Jerome Simpson led the team in yards. You don't want to be in a spot. He didn't even get a touchdown. You don't want to have your leading receiver be Jerome Simpson, and they had 0 touchdowns. Bolden had 4. Torrey Smith had 3. It's not a good offense right now, but it'll get better. It'll get better. That's how rebuilds work. 164 tackles for Navarro Bowman. I'm really happy we have him on the team. Antoine Bethea, the veteran safety, had 118. Jaquiski Tart, the starting strong safety, had 116. I couldn't even say his name for a second. Eli Harold had 100 tackles. I was just taken aback by how many tackles he had. That's really, really good. I hope that he turns into quite the player. Ahmad Brooks had 87, which is pretty decent. Ian Williams had 74, 18 tackles for loss, too. That's going to be big. We had Harold leading the team with 24 tackles for loss. I hope he goes up to superstar development. If he goes up to superstar development, then we don't need another outside linebacker. We don't need another right outside linebacker because then he'll just be the guy. Quentin Dial had 23, Williams had 18, Brooks had 16, Armstead had 12. Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to be getting a Rookie of the Year on offense or defense. Certainly not on offense, but I don't even think we have a rookie on offense that could win it. Quentin Dial led the team with 6.5 sacks. That's nice. Ian Williams had 6. Dockett had 5.5. Brooks had 4.5. 3 for Harold. Maybe Harold will win Defensive Rookie of the Year. I don't know. 2 picks for Bethea, 1 for a couple other guys. So Antoine Bethea dominating as the backup, which is very interesting. He might be in like some sub linebacker roles or something. That's probably why he's getting in. But it's time to get to the Super Bowl. I didn't mean to simulate just 1 week. Let's get to the Super Bowl. There we go. All right, so getting to the Super Bowl, we'll see who wins the year number 1 Super Bowl, and then we'll figure out our game plan. Should we try to trade all of our older guys for more draft picks? Like, should we trade Joe Staley for some more draft picks? That's a possibility. Giants and Bills in the Super Bowl. I'm going to pick the Giants because the Bills are the Bills. And it will be, look at that. The Bills got it done, so congratulations to them. And now we move to the offseason. We've got ourselves Tyrod Taylor, of all people, wins MVP of the Super Bowl. Cam Newton gets MVP of the league. Adrian Peterson, Everson Griffin are your players of the year. And then Todd Gurley wins Offensive Rookie of the Year, but Eli Harold wins Defensive Rookie of the Year. Okay, so that's a guaranteed dev trade upgrade, even if he was already going to go up. So maybe he has a chance to be X Factor. Oh, I got to take a look at this. Not that. I'm too excited. Is he going to be an X Factor or is he just going to be a superstar? Because if he's an X Factor, then it's unbelievable, but I doubt it. I think he's only going to be a superstar. So no offensive changes. Everybody's still normal. And then superstar development's huge. Absolutely huge. No other noticeable changes that I see. No, it looks like everybody else is still the same, but that is huge for Eli Harold to be superstar development. That means we pretty much only need one more outside linebacker in this rebuild because we got him. So let's get to re-sign players. I did manage to get Alex Boone back. I think I had to pay him $8.5 million salary. So I got Alex Boone back. He's back for 3 years. I signed him for 3 or 4. I think I signed him for 3. He's back for 3. So we can pretty much let everybody else walk. We'll accept the option on Eric Reed, obviously. But everybody else, including Reggie Bush, everybody else is going to have to walk. Not because I don't have the money, just because I don't really want them. They're all old and not that high of an overall. So let's get to free agency, and then we'll decide if we want to trade anybody. I don't even know if anybody's going to be worth that good of a draft pick. So the free agent class has Andre Smith. Ooh. That's an intriguing one. I like that. Running backs, no. Wide receivers, Marvin Jones is about the only one. So I'll throw an offer on Marvin Jones. And he wants to be here, so that's nice. So I'll throw an offer at Marvin Jones. Maybe we can add him to the team. Give whatever quarterback we have another weapon. Tight end. Kobe Fleener. Riley Reed. Don't want him. I think the only offensive lineman that I want is Andre Smith. I know he doesn't want to be here, which means we're going to have to pay him a little bit more money. And he's 29. It's going to hurt our bank account. But getting Andre Reed's going to help us in the long term. So I hope he accepts that. We're battling with the Giants, who just went to the Super Bowl. So we're going to have to pay slightly more than I want to for a 29-year-old offensive lineman. But I think it's going to be worth it. So I'll pay him that. We'll see if that jumps us up. Okay, that does jump us up. Hopefully he accepts that. And I hope that doesn't come back to bite me. Michael Brockers. Ooh. Start of Elements. And 79 overall. Yes, please. That could be our D-tackle spot figured out, although the Patriots are really in on him too. Tyrone Crawford could be my backup. I'm going to offer Tyrone Crawford. He could be my backup plan if we don't get Michael Brockers. So we'll offer that. Jason Pierre-Paul is only 27. All right, we could be figuring out our defensive line pretty much in this free agent class, which it doesn't usually happen. There's not usually anybody in free agency that I like. But we don't have any more offers, so unfortunately I can't offer anybody else. But it's a good thing because I don't really want anybody else. So let's keep moving to the targeted screen. I think we should be able to get everybody here, but we will find out. Everybody's still here. A couple people signed, and a couple people signed with us. Marvin Jones, Jason Pierre-Paul. And we got everybody. We signed everybody. Oh, a defensive upgrade is going to be huge. We get a new D-tackle. We get a new defensive end. We just improved this defense a whole heck of a lot. Let's adjust the lineup here. So we've got ourselves Marvin Jones, who's probably going to be our number one for Season 2, unless we get another quarterback. Joe Staley, is he threatening retirement? He's 32. I don't know. I don't know what to do with him. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just growling. I don't know what to do with him. Okay, so Harold, we're gonna move him over to left outside linebacker just so he can start right away. Move him over to left outside, and then he'll be good to go there. He's gonna start over Aaron Lynch, absolutely. And then the defensive line looks a lot better now with Brockers and Dial, and we got Crawford as well, so that even helps. He was just a backup plan. And then Armstead goes up. So the defensive line looks a lot better now. We need to work on the corner. We need to work on left outside linebacker or right outside linebacker, whatever it is. And then we need to work on this offense. The offense is in shambles right now. The biggest question is, do we trade Joe Staley? Do we trade Joe Staley? He's our second highest rated player. If we trade him, we can get some first round picks. Oh, 32. He probably retires before the end of this video. Nobody's going to give me 2 first-round picks, which is not that bad. What we could do is we could trade for future draft picks. So, let's see. A team that's willing to give me some good stuff. Let's see. The Eagles are willing to give me a first and a second next year. What about if I counter and ask for more? What about if they give me a 2018 second, and a this year 4. How's that? Trade declined. Okay, okay. But I could also give you a 2018 4th. Or a 2018 3rd. Should we try to get picks for 2017 or should we try to get picks for 2016? I'm not 100% sure. I'll give a 2017 4. Trade offer accepted. So Joe Staley, a 3rd and a 4, gets us a 1st, 2 seconds, and a 4 from Philadelphia. Okay. Which means that we're going to have to start one of our other offensive linemen. We have 2 guys there, Trent Brown and the other guy. They can play left tackle if they need to. So now our draft capital is 2 4s this year, plus the number 1 overall pick. And then 2 first-round picks in 2017, which, remember, 2017 is the Myles Garrett draft class. So if we're bad again, then we got ourselves pretty much sorted. And I was able to come away with the 2018 second. So I feel like that Joe Staley pickup is going to work out pretty well for us. So that's probably the only guy that we have value, that has value, that I'd be willing to trade. Because I'm not going to be trading Navarro Bowman. I guess I could trade Antoine Bethea, but I don't think he's going to have any value. He's pretty old, and he's not that high of an overall. He's a 66. Yeah, he doesn't even have anybody that wants him, so he was the only other guy that I'd be willing to trade, and nobody wants him. So I am going to sign a kicker, I guess, because I think we needed a kicker. Let's see. Available guys: Sebastian Janikowski, Brandon McManus. Give me Dustin Hopkins. He wants to be here more than McManus does. So we'll get Dustin Hopkins. I don't have any more offers. Okay, whatever. He'll sign with us. We gave him 7 years. He's gonna sign with us. Let's get to the draft. Figure out the game plan with the number 1 overall pick. I don't know what I want to do, because we could grab ourselves Jalen Ramsey. We know is going to be amazing. Joey Bosa we know is going to end up being pretty good. So there's a lot of guys that we could take that are going to end up being good, or we could trade down, get more stuff, and still come away with some pretty good players. We'll have to play this pretty smart. And do we go with a quarterback? I guess I'll use these 2 on the quarterbacks just to figure out how good they are. I just want to know their true talents. And then we got to figure out what we do next. Probably use this on Laramie Tunsil. That'll be my other guy that I use it on. So we'll use on the 2 quarterbacks and Laramie Tunsil, and then we'll get the other 3 this next week here. And we'll go from there. Mock draft number 5 is going to be crucial to figuring out the game plan. So, number 1 overall pick, they have us taking Dak. That's not going to happen. They have Carson Wentz as a day 3. I don't think I've ever scouted Carson Wentz fully. That's crazy. And they have Jared Goff as a day 3. Wow. Okay. So, we're not going to take Dak. Don't worry about that. We're not going to take Dak. Bosa. Buckner at 5. Ramsey. Jalen Smith. There's Deion Jones. We know Deion Jones develops amazing. So does Jalen Smith, to be fair. And Miles Jack's the final pick. What's the play? What is the play? I don't know if I know. I don't know if I know the play. We'll scout a couple people here to figure out our last moves. It's gonna be Joe Tooney. It's gonna be Romeo Aquara, because he's undrafted, potentially. And then it's gonna be mommy. It's gonna have to be, I guess, Jonathan Jones. I don't want to waste it on a guy like Kendall Fuller because we already know how good he is. And I'm not sure I've ever used it on Jonathan Jones before. I've drafted him before. I know he's star development, but I don't think I've ever known what he is officially as a top 5 or as a talent. So forget about that. We're not taking Dak. I don't think this is a class where we take a quarterback. Philadelphia could end up with Carson Wentz. I didn't realize that. I think the move is to trade down. I really do. I think the move is to trade down, let whoever we trade with take the #1 overall pick off our hands. Hold on. Before I do that, I want to make sure that I have all the trade stuff that I need. So that's probably why it was a little harder to make that trade originally. So we'll spend that, buy all this stuff as much as we can at least. Get all of that. I can't afford that. Of course I can't buy that one more time. Okay, so we will get as much as we can, and then next season we'll have all that bought out. Okay, let's go to the draft. This is a very important draft. Year 1 draft's always the most important one. It sets the tone for the rebuild. So let's start the draft and figure out if we're going to be trading down or not. So let's review the offers. Chicago's offer, ooh, Cincinnati. 3 first-round picks plus a next year second. But Buffalo's offering me 3 first-round picks plus a second and a third. I know their pick is the last pick of the draft, or the first round, but still, we could use that. We could trade up easy from there. That's pretty good. Oh, I might do Buffalo. Would it be wrong to give the defending Super Bowl champions the #1 overall pick? I think it might be. But they're giving me so much good stuff. But then again, those draft picks are probably going to be late because they're going to be good, which is also a counter to probably not doing it. But, I mean, that's a good haul. Jacksonville's giving me a good haul. We could just trade down 1 spot and get a 2018 first out of it, and then trade the 2nd overall pick. But we know the second overall pick doesn't have nearly enough value as the 1st overall pick does. I've done that before. Kansas City's offering me the 21st overall pick, which is not nearly as far as 32. Plus, they're giving me a 2nd and a 4. A 2nd this year, too. Do we prioritize? It's either going to be between Buffalo or Kansas City. Do we prioritize 2017 draft? Because we'd be getting our 3rd first-round pick of the 2017 draft, plus our 3rd first-round pick of the 2018 draft, right? No. Maybe. I don't know. Plus a 2nd and a 3rd in 2017. So the 2017 draft, we'd be loaded. But then if we do the Kansas City trade, we would also have first-round picks, but then we wouldn't prioritize the 2017 draft as much because we wouldn't get a 2017 second. We'd be getting a this year's second, which could also be very useful. Oh, this is tricky. This is very tricky. Do I like Buffalo's deal more than I like Kansas City's? I mean, Buffalo's giving me some good stuff, but they're going to be pretty good. Kansas City also could be pretty good, to be fair. But, oh, mama. This is intense. I think I'm going to take Kansas City's deal. Accept it. We get moved back to pick 21. I can trade up if I need to. Kansas City will take Carson Wentz as the 1st overall pick. They steal him from Philadelphia, who take Jared Goff. Look at that. That's hilarious. All right, now is where things get weird. So Joey Bosa is probably going to go here. It's a big question of, I don't even know what I want. Do I want DeForest Buckner? Do I want Jalen Ramsey? Like, what do I want? Where is Jalen Ramsey? There he is. I don't even know what I want out of this. This is probably going to be Bosa. Oh, it's DeForest Buckner. Okay. Well, is this going to be Ramsey or Bosa? It's neither. It's Vernon Hargreaves. Cleveland will take Shaq Lawson. Denver takes Darren Lee. Washington takes Ramsey. Okay, so that's probably the guy that I would have taken. Bosa has fallen pretty far. Bosa's fallen pretty far. I wonder if I could trade up. I could move Eric Armstead to D-tackle, have Jason Pierre-Paul, and then Bosa. We'd have to trade up with Atlanta. So if I trade pick 21, not going to Atlanta right away. I'm looking for pick 19. No, I'll just do it one by one. I'll probably cut a little bit of this out because you guys have seen me do this plenty of times. I'm just gonna basically go from pick to pick. And don't I have pick 21? Round 1, pick 21. What the heck? Why do the Jets have the same pick that I have? That's super weird. Whatever. Trade decline. I'll give him a 7th rounder in 2018. It's only not going through because I don't have all the trade stuff in the staff tree. Oops, I don't want to do that. All the trade stuff in the draft tree upgraded all the way. That's why it's not going through one for one. But we'll trade pick number 20 to get pick number 19 from the Chargers. And they just accept it one for one. It's not that difficult. I'm going to run out of 7s. Moving up to 19. I'm going to go and figure this out. Or maybe not. Maybe I won't be able to trade up that far. Because not having this upgraded all the way is kind of hurting the vibes here. Number 19. If it doesn't go through with number 18, then I don't have any more 7s to give up. I guess I give this here 7. Number 18 is held by the Saints. Man, they are being very stingy right now. I'll give my 7th this year. That's the last 7 that I have to give up. So we've gotten up from 21 to 18, but that's not really going to help us out now, is it? Maybe we don't go for Bosa. Maybe we try to go for like a Deion Jones. Let's keep simulating. Josh Doxson goes there. Jalen Smith. There goes Bosa. So he went number 10. Sheldon Rankins. Zeke to the Texans. Emmanuel Ogbah. Kevin Dodd. Eli Apple. And Corey Coleman. I think the move is Deion Jones. Or it could be Laramie Tunsil. Or Kenny Clark. This draft's been super unpredictable right now. I don't know who's going to go where. Deion Jones is still pretty far down, but that doesn't necessarily guarantee anything. Ronnie Stanley and Laramie Tunsil are both on the table. I don't know if we can pass either of them up. Who's the best? I should have scouted Ronnie Stanley. I didn't know I was going to be in a position to take one of them. Tunsil's more versatile. He could probably play a little guard if I needed him to. I don't think Stanley could play guard. I'm going to take Laramie Tunsil. He's a hidden development player. That's going to be our possible fix for tackle or guard. I don't know. Luckily, we have the first pick in the 2nd round. What did I tell you? He was down the board so far. He was like in the 20s on the board. And he gets taken the next pick of best player available. He was so far down the board. And he gets picked the next pick. It never fails, does it? It never actually fails. Unfreaking believable, dude. Oh, man. I didn't think he'd fall to the 2nd round. I was kind of hoping he would. But it's just crazy. Absolutely crazy. All right, we have 2 2nd-round picks, so we can make some things happen here. Stanley still is on the board, so I guess I didn't have to make the decision. Kenny Clark is here. So is Derrick Henry. At this point, this draft has been so unpredictable, I have no idea where anybody's going to go. So I think I'm just going to grab myself Kenny Clark. Yeah, let's do Kenny Clark. Get another D tackle. Help us out a little bit there. Carl Joseph. There goes Henry. Skipped our pick here. Okay, Kevin Byard's still here. Kessler, Malik Collins. So our favorites board, Tyreek is still on the table. Do we have... What pick do we have? We have the first pick of the 3rd round. I thought we did. I'd probably go Joe Tooney here. Because we're trying to fix this offensive line pretty much right away. So I think I go Joe Tooney. We knew that he only had normal development, but I hope that's a good enough pick for me. I hope I didn't waste that 2nd-round pick. And then we have the first pick of the 3rd round. This is probably going to be the Tyreek pick. I do it all the time. I do it in almost every rebuild that involves the 2016 draft, but he's just so good. He's just absolutely amazing. There's really no way you could pass up on Tyreek. Then we go to the 4th round. And we have back-to-back picks here? Yeah, we have the first and second pick of the 4th round. I didn't even realize that. Okay, so we can make some good stuff happen here. We can get... Aquaria's potentially undrafted true talent. That's kind of disrespectful, but whatever. This is probably going to be the Jonathan Jones pickup. Probably. There's nobody else that I really want. And Dak is already gone. He got taken in the 3rd round. So this is... It could be Carl Nassib, I guess. I've never drafted Carl Nassib before. I don't know how good he is. I think I'm going to take Jonathan... I'm going to take Jonathan Jones. It's probably a miss in the 4th round. Luckily, we have back-to-back picks, so it doesn't come back to bite us too much. What else do I take here? Isaac Seumalo is probably not worth taking because he's going to be low overall. I think he's like a 68 or something. We're not going to take Judon. This is probably a DJ Reader pick. Or maybe a Landon Roberts. Or, nah, it's going to be Devondre Campbell. I know that he's low overall, but it's going to be Devondre Campbell. It just made the most sense out of everything. Everything that was there, it just made the most sense. So now we go to the 5th round. I'll probably take another corner with this pick. Seeing who's available. So you got Reader still on the board. I'm probably going to take... I could move Jalen Mills to corner, I guess. But I'm probably going to take... I'm probably going to take Mike Hilton. Get another corner on the team. I mean, we need corners. We don't have anybody. I let a lot of the corners go because they weren't that good. So we need a lot of corners. And if there goes DJ Reader, I might have taken him with this pick. If Jalen Mills is here, I'll probably take him because we can move Jalen Mills to corner, and he's got development traits, so that can be very useful. And then we have no more picks remaining because I traded that 7th round pick. So that draft was kind of wild, actually. That was super unpredictable. I had no idea where anybody was going to go whatsoever. Draft recap. Nope, that's trade offers. Draft recap. We come away with 78 overall Laramie Tunsil, 73 Kenny Clark, 72 Tooney, 75 Tyreek Hill. Tyreek will probably start right away at number 1 receiver over Marvin Jones. Jonathan Jones, 67. Campbell, 71. Hilton's a 59. Mills is 62. I'm going to turn Mills to a corner right now so I don't forget about it. And then he can probably be right there in the thick of things for the cornerback position. So he goes up to 65 at corner. All right, let's take one little peek at the best players in the class. And it's Jalen Ramsey, 81 Nick Martin. That's what I was talking about. So Jalen Smith, Vernon Hargraves. Oh, that was crazy at the top of the draft, though, with us trading to the Kansas City Chiefs and then they take Carson Wentz. I didn't expect that at all. They don't need Patrick Mahomes, I guess. And funny enough, Patrick Mahomes is in this next draft class. He's in the 2017 draft, so we could have ourselves a quarterback right there. Let's get to Season 2. We'll adjust the lineup, make sure everything's ready to go. Tyreek is 3rd. I don't know if I like that or not. I don't know what I like here. Tyreek is 3rd. He'll be 3rd for a season, I guess. Harold's gonna start. We've got Brockers and Dial. Dial will be number 1, and then Brockers will be 2. Kenny Clark's a little too low of an overall. And the corners will have to just wait it out because they're just simply too low right now. But I guess we could start them just to get them ready to go. I mean, we're probably not going to be good anyway. You know what? Let's just do that. Let's have Jonathan Jones be our number 1, and then we'll have Jalen Mills be our number 2, and we'll see how it goes. Oh, nope. Number 2. There we go. And we'll see what happens. I have no idea, but we will see what happens. Armstead will start. Campbell will start at right outside linebacker, and we'll probably be bad again this year, but good news is we have a lot of draft capital this year. Let's go to the roster and show you guys. So we have a lot of draft capital this year. We have 3 first-round picks, two of which I should say, are projected the first 2 picks in the draft, which is low-key kind of crazy. And then we have Kansas City's pick. Then we have 2 seconds. We have a 3rd, a 4, 5, and 6, plus 2 firsts next year and 2 seconds next year. So we are loaded on draft capital. This rebuild could go very quickly once these 2 years get out of the way. So Year number 2, we have to hope that Philadelphia and Kansas City are bad, and then we will see what we can do. Although, let me just do something real quick. That number 2 overall pick probably has a good amount of value. If I just throw it in the trade finder now, they're not giving me any players, but they are giving me a lot of picks, and I think I'd rather hope that Philadelphia is bad rather than hope that another team is bad. So I'll keep that pick for right now. I'm going to simulate to the end of season number 2 and catch up with you guys when we are there. We made it to the end of year number 2, and the boys got a little bit better. Progress. 3-14 on the season. Looks like we're going to have a top 2 pick again this year. It's all going to change when we get a quarterback. That's pretty much my go-to. I mean, look at these numbers. Colin Kaepernick, he doesn't have a lot of weapons to work with. I'm going to be honest with you. That's true. I'm not going to lie. But he's just not going to be the guy for us. He's not putting up the numbers, even with the offense that we have. He's not putting up the numbers that I need him to put up. Carlos Hyde in his first season as a starter did decently fine. We might need to change playbooks. Tyreek Hill had a good year even as the third-string wide receiver, and then Marvin Jones did okay as well. But the receivers are going to struggle, obviously, because the quarterback's not very good. So you're not going to get a lot of progression there. But the defense seems to be killing it. Navarro Bowman had 178 tackles. Devondre Campbell as a rookie had 144. Please tell me that's going to be star development for him. I need that to happen. Eric Reed had 117, and Jason Pierre-Paul had 107. So the young guys are getting into the groove of things. I like to see that. Jaquiski Tart at 87. Pierre-Paul had 27 tackles for loss. Brockers had 16. Crawford had 10. Ahmad Brooks had 8. Sack leader was Jason Pierre-Paul, so it was a good thing to sign him because he's been very good production, and he was still, what, like 27? So he was a good pickup for us. Crawford had 9 sacks, 8 for Brockers, and then 2.5 for a couple guys. The pick leader was rookie Jonathan Jones with 2, and then Bowman had 1. We weren't getting a lot of interceptions, but that's okay because we have probably the number 1 overall pick again this year, which is going to be very massive because Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes are in this draft class, and we need to get our quarterback figured out. We can't wait another year. We can't go to 2018 and hope for Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson or anybody like that. We have to go and get our quarterback in this class. Now, I could very easily pick Patrick Mahomes and be good, but I've done that already. And I kind of want, as the Falcons beat the Ravens in the second Super... Did they just win it? Oh, the Bills won. I was going to say, did they just win back-to-back? No. The Falcons win this year with Justin Durant winning the MVP of the Super Bowl. Cam Newton wins MVP of the league. Todd Gurley, Mario Williams are the players of the year. And Zeke for the Texans and Jahad Ward also for the Texans got the rookies of the year. So the Texans had a good draft, it looks like. But I kind of want to get Deshaun Watson just to have some variety in my quarterback draft because, I mean, we had Patrick Mahomes in the Giants rebuild when we did the 2015 Giants series. We had Mahomes. So, and we know obviously that turned out really well. We won a bunch of Super Bowls with Mahomes, which is kind of why I want to draft him. But then again, we don't know how good Watson's going to be. So I kind of want to take him, but I don't know. I mean, the guarantee of knowing what Mahomes is going to give you, and then you got the kind of unknown in Deshaun Watson. But then again, how are you ever going to learn how good Deshaun Watson's going to be for you in future rebuilds if we don't take him now? So that's also something you got to think about. I'm not really sure what we're going to do. I'm leaning towards Watson. Tank Carradine just rejected me. Okay. Well, screw you. I didn't think he was going to reject me. We'll bring back Vance McDonald. But that's probably going to be everybody. Yeah, I don't even want D'Angelo. I used to love D'Angelo Williams. He was one of my favorite running backs to watch growing up. But I think that's going to be everybody that we offer. I think we go with Deshaun Watson. I think that's going to be the move. I know it might not be the sexy pick. It might not be the fun pick or the popular pick. But I think that's what we're going to do. Anthony Costanzo's made it to free agency. I mean, you're pulling my leg. How am I not supposed to offer Anthony Costanzo a contract? Eddie Lacy's made it here. Eddie Lacy could be our running back. I know it sounds strange, but Eddie Lacy could be our running back. He's still not super old. Michael Floyd has been here. I mean, we need some receivers. That's a fact. We need some receivers. And Michael Floyd could be that. Michael Floyd used to be pretty good. Oh, maybe not. Are we going to have to overpay for Michael Floyd? It's not Malcolm Floyd, it's Michael Floyd. Are we going to have to overpay for him? I mean, I don't want to go too much higher. The Packers must be going crazy on the offer. All right, now at least we're in the battle with them. Ooh, Tavon Austin as well. Might not be bad to go after. Just bring in some more bodies on the offense, basically, is what I need to do. Tight end. We're going after Costanzo. There's not really a center that I want. TJ Lang, I don't think we have the money to bring TJ Lang in. I would go after him. Kawan Short. We're pretty good at D-tackle right now. The only thing I need is probably an outside linebacker. But I don't think there's an outside linebacker that I want. Brandon Spikes. Sean Smith. There's Malcolm Butler again. I feel like we just signed Malcolm Butler in a recent rebuild. I don't remember what it was, but I feel like that just happened recently. But I'll do it again. I will do it again. All right, so the big one obviously is Anthony Costanzo. And kind of Michael Floyd, actually. Somebody didn't sign. Who signed? Who did we just offer? Oh, Tavon Austin. He picked the Cardinals. All right, whatever, dude. We got Michael Floyd. So that's awesome. We had another receiver. Now the Chiefs are in the hunt for Anthony Costanzo. Now I'm going to have to offer even more money. All right, don't tempt me, Kansas City. I will go crazy with this deal. I will go crazy. All right, we're back in contention. He chose us. Anthony Costanzo chooses us. Big one. That's a big one. All right, so now we've got our right tackle and left tackle. Plus, we can make some adjustments on the offensive line with the guys that we have already. So if we go in here, we can move Laramie Tunsil into guard. I mean, I'm going to do that. I'm going to move Laramie Tunsil to left guard. It's Madden. It's not that big of a deal. He's going to be able to play left guard pretty efficiently. Yeah, look at that. He's an 80 overall left guard. He's just playing down with the morale. Malcolm Floyd comes in. Tyreek's going to go to number 2. Or no, number 1. Number 2. And then Marvin's going to go to number 3 for right now. Carlos Hyde, I guess, is going to be our running back for a little bit. But the offensive line is looking a little bit better now. The offensive line is looking a little bit better. I could even move Andre Smith to right guard and put Trent Brown back at tackle, but Trent Brown's a little bit too low of an overall for that. And then on defense, if we hopefully get Malcolm Butler, that'll help. Jonathan Jones will move up to corner number 2. Jalen Mills will jump up a little bit. Devondre Campbell will jump up. He did go up to star. I just noticed that. He did go up to star. Jason Pierre-Paul has superstar now, which I think I just noticed. And Harold's still superstar as well. So I'm really glad that Campbell moved up to star. That's big. That's very, very big. Very, very big for the defense, because if he continues to develop, then we don't have to worry about outside linebacker anymore. But we got to get our quarterback. We got to get our quarterback. And remember, we have 3 first-round picks this year. This is the draft to have the first-round picks. That is for sure. That is for sure. I just don't know. I don't know where everybody else are picking. I don't know, because we have the Chiefs and we have the Eagles. So I don't know where those teams are picking. I don't know how good they did. So we didn't sign Eddie Lacy, it looks like. It's a little disappointing. Tyreek moves back up. Marvin Jones moves up. I need to stop doing that generate best lineup thing, because it's taking my guys and switching positions. Okay, so wait, did Jonathan Jones have star now and he doesn't? Where's Jalen? Oh, Mills. Mills has star. I was gonna say, did they take off the development trait? No, but it's just Jalen Mills isn't up there anymore. All right, focus players. Focus players. Here we go. We need to know about Christian McCaffrey and Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes. That's pretty much where I'm thinking. That is pretty much where I'm thinking. And I wouldn't even put it past me to... I'm pretty crazy. I wouldn't put it past myself to draft Myles Garrett as well. I'm going to try everything I can to rebuild this team in this draft. But mock draft number 5 is going to be crucial. Where is everybody going? So we have the number 1 overall pick. They have us taking Patrick Mahomes. Number 2 is Myles Garrett. What's the other picks that we have? We have the 11th and 12th. They have us taking Christian McCaffrey. Beautiful. I'm going to take Christian McCaffrey. And Deshaun Watson's actually round 2 to 3. I want to take, maybe in another video. Maybe in another video we'll take Deshaun. It's Mahomes. It's got to be Mahomes. Okay, so we're going to take Christian McCaffrey. We're going to take Patrick Mahomes. How do we come away with Myles Garrett as well? Probably by trading pick 11 to get up and take Myles Garrett at 2. That's probably the way that we do that. That is probably the way that we do that. So let's use our private workouts on some people. Preferably offensive linemen, because that's where I'm thinking we're going to have to go. Let's see. Let's use it on Taylor Moton, Deion Dawkins. It's not the greatest interior offensive line class, is it? Taylor Moton, Deion Dawkins, and then we already know Reuben Foster is going to be a stud. And we know Zach Cunningham is a stud. Maybe another corner. I'll use it on Sidney Jones. I want to know how good he is. So there we go. Now we just got to trade up to pick number 2 and take Myles Garrett. It's going to be a little tricky, but I did already spend all my staff points, so now we have the full thing. We are full up on things. I'm gonna actually trade pick 12. The whole staff tree is figured out. It's all bought out. Pick number 12 to 10, which allows us to do that. So we need to trade up. I'm trading pick number 12 instead of pick number 11 because I want to have the pick ahead of wherever McCaffrey's projected to go, just in case I get swindled. So we're going to do that. So pick number 10 gets traded for pick number 8. It will get a little trickier once we get closer to the top 2 because that's harder to, and as you can see, it's already getting tricky. But we have the draft capital, and I'm going to try to spend some 2019 picks because actually I might be able to get away with a 5 because hopefully by 2019 we're good enough to win a Super Bowl. And there we go. I was able to get away with a 5. All right, now we have pick number 8 in the draft, but it's going to get even more tricky as we try to get up to number 6. I might have to do it like 8 for 7 instead of 8 for 6. Instead of jumping up 2 spots, just jump up 1. I'll try it with number 6 here. We'll see what the Cowboys say. Are they going to be stingy? They are going to be stingy. I'll try 7. Whoever has 7 might be stingy as well. It's going to be the Jaguars. All right. They are not stingy. Okay, we might just have to go one down the line until we get to 2 because I don't want to spend too many draft picks because we need those draft picks to build this team in this draft. This is a good draft in most positions. Most of the positions that we need. So we need to have as many draft picks as possible to build this team. And we get number 6. All right, so we just need to get up to number 2. So we got to go to number 5 now. See who has number 5 in the NFL draft. Number 6 is held. Number 5 is held by. We know the Cardinals have 2. Number 5 is held by. It would really help if I just remembered the mock draft order, but I don't. It's held by the Texans. Okay. We can swap with them. Bada bing, bada boom. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now we go to number 4. Number 4 pick in the NFL draft is held by the Chicago Bears. The Bears. Now we need 3. I think 3 was held by the Saints, right? Was it held by the Saints? I feel like it was held by one of those teams down there in the bottom. Not the number 1 pick, number 4 pick. I'll check the Saints, see if I was right, see if my memory serves. No, I was wrong. It's number 9. Who had number 3? Number 3 is held by the Raiders. The Raiders. All right, let's see if they'll take the one-on-one, and they do. All right, we are at number 3 now. Well, all we need to do is get to number 2 with Arizona. All we need to do is get to number 3 with Arizona. You know you want to do it. You don't want Myles Garrett. He's not as good as you think he is. Shh. He's not as good as you think he is. All right, they're going to make me work for it. That's understandable. I'll give you a 6th-round pick in 2019. And they accepted it. Beautiful. The first 2 picks in the 2017 NFL Draft are ours. Let's get to the draft and get ready to rumble. Because we're getting ourselves to the playoffs with this draft right here. All right. Pause the draft. Make our selection. I probably should take Myles Garrett number 1 overall since we have the first 2 picks. Because that just makes more sense. So let's take Myles Garrett, number 1 overall. Welcome to San Francisco, Myles Garrett. Beautiful. Unbelievably awesome. All right, perfect. Now we have number 2, Patrick Mahomes. Welcome to the San Francisco 49ers. We got ourselves our quarterback. He looks weird in a 49ers uniform, but we got him. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Now we simulate a couple picks, and the Cardinals screw me. The Cardinals screw me. Luckily, there's good running backs in this class. It's a really good running back class. But how could the Arizona Cardinals take Christian McCaffrey like that? You weren't even projected to take Christian McCaffrey. How could they do this to me? We have Dalvin Cook, we have Alvin Kamara, we have Joe Mixon, and obviously Leonard Fournette. I think I'm going to go with... I'll go with Dalvin Cook. We'll have him be our running back. There we go. I wanted McCaffrey, but Dalvin Cook's a good running back too. So now we have our quarterback, we have our running back. I'm feeling pretty confident. Feeling pretty confident in the offense. Okay, go in. If Leonard Fournette makes it to the 2nd round too. Okay, where do we go next? And so did Alvin Kamara. Look at that. We could go Cooper Kupp, which would be the smart thing to do to get ourselves a guaranteed stud receiver. Or we could go Zach Cunningham, which would also be a smart thing to do. I guess we could hope that Zach Cunningham makes it to our pick. I don't think we can pass up on having Cooper Kupp. We got to get him. I'm not going with guys that we haven't drafted before. This is a rebuild where we need to get good. It's 2 seasons in, we've had the first pick back-to-back years. We can't be doing that. We got to get good quick. And the only way I know how to do that is by drafting good players. Next up on the list probably is Zach Cunningham if he's available, and of course he goes. I shouldn't even say it out loud because I feel like Madden just hears that and then they screw me. That's how it usually goes. So now that we don't have an ability to take Zach Cunningham, what else do we need? We probably need corner, but it's too early to take Ahkello Witherspoon, right? It's the 2nd round. We don't need to do that. We could take Budda Baker, I guess, and then move. We could move somebody else to corner. That's a possibility. I'm going to take Budda Baker. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out as we go. I didn't want to waste my pick. I could have taken another receiver. I guess that would have been good. Into the 3rd round now. All right. Into the 3rd round. Kamara's still on the board. There are some good players on this board. How many 3rd round picks do I have? I only have this one. Okay. I think I'm going to take George Kittle. I don't think I can make... He might be there at pick number 4, but I'm going to take George Kittle. Make sure that we get our offense completely figured out. I don't want to risk it. Because we need a tight end more than we need another receiver. So, I'm going to grab myself George Kittle. Kamara. I would have taken Kamara if he was still on the board. Okay, so now the corners are starting to worry me, but so are the receivers. I'm going to take another receiver here. Is it going to be Godwin or is it going to be Juju? It's probably going to be Godwin. No, I'll take Juju. I'll take Juju. So we come away with Juju and Cooper Kupp in this draft. I'd say that's pretty good. Our receiving core is looking healthy now. And then we have... What do we have now? We have... Couple D tackles. The corners are still available. I'm going to take Shaq Griffin with this 5th round pick. That adds another corner to the team. And then with a 6th round pick, if there's a linebacker available, I'll probably grab him. This is our final pick, so we got to make it count. There is no linebackers available. Interesting. So I guess I will grab Desmond King, since we know that he is a guaranteed dev trade. And I don't know about Kella Witherspoon. I don't want to make a mistake and not draft a guy with a development trade. So we know for a fact that Desmond King had it. He's just going to be low overall. But this draft was amazing. We didn't get Christian McCaffrey, which kind of sucks. But we do come away with some franchise pieces to make this team instantly better. So we get Myles Garrett with the #1 overall pick. He's an 82. Mahomes a 77. Dalvin Cook's a 78. All of these guys are instant starters. Day one. Everybody. Except for George Kittle, probably. He'll probably start day one. But everybody here is a 70. We didn't miss on a single pick in this draft. We got a huge class. Huge class. W. And we got 2 of the highest rated players in the class. I guess not, actually. I wanted Christian McCaffrey. I didn't think the Cardinals would take him, if we're being totally honest. I didn't think the Cardinals would take him, but I'm happy with that draft class. Now we don't have to worry about quarterback. We don't really have to worry about offense really anymore. The offense is, now we just need to develop. This is the type of off-season we needed. We're going to put everybody in here. Bada bing, bada boom. And the offense looks a lot better now. Kittle's going to start. We're going to have Mahomes. We're going to have Cook. We're going to have Floyd. We're going to have Cooper Kupp be right up there. We're going to have Tyreek be right up there. Juju's going to be right up above everybody. I mean, we're going to have all our boys right up there. Why not? Team's looking a lot better on offense, at least. And then on defense, we need Devondre Campbell to play. We need Harold to play right outside linebacker. So I'm going to move him to right outside. We could use outside linebackers. I know we have guys with development traits, but we could use some stuff there. So Campbell's going to start at left outside linebacker. I don't know what we're going to do with Budda Baker, but I felt like I had to take Budda Baker. We couldn't pass him up. Simply could not pass him up. And now we're looking a little bit better at corner. We got a lot of young pieces at corner. The defensive line looks a lot better now. Yeah, I like the team. That was a huge draft. That was a huge draft. So I will simulate to the end of year number 3. Oh, actually, before we do that, I should probably change our schemes up here. Let's go to some guaranteed good stuff. Like we could go to Kansas City since we have Mahomes and we have Kittle. That would work pretty well. And then defense, I'll stick with the 49er defense since it's pretty good. And we have a 95. What's our scheme fit on offense? It is vertical power run. All right, we'll run those things, and hopefully Kansas City's offensive playbook with Patrick Mahomes and Kittle will work pretty well. So now I will simulate to the end of season number 3, and I'll catch you guys at the end. We finished up year number 3. We are getting better. It is slow progress, but we are getting better. 7-10 is what we finished with. So it looks like Mahomes is starting to develop a little bit. That's nice to see. Let's see if he did better than what Colin Kaepernick did, and he certainly did in terms of yards. 4,100 yards, 21 touchdowns, 11 picks for Mahomes. Dalvin Cook had 1,100 yards and 12 touchdowns. That's a much better production day than what Carlos Hyde was putting up. Michael Floyd led the team with 1,100 yards and 9 touchdowns. Cooper Kupp was right there. George Kittle was right there. Good seasons from the boys. Defensively, Navarro Bowman. I'm really glad I didn't take the Niners defense away because Navarro Bowman had 185 tackles. Campbell had 126. Brockers had 111. Jaquiski Tartt had 104. Pierre Paul had 97. Budda Baker had 93. Reed had 90. I mean, we're getting tackles on tackles on tackles. Brockers, 26 tackles for loss. 22 for Pierre Paul. 15 for Crawford. 14 for Garrett. Garrett might win Defensive Rookie of the Year with those numbers. 10.5 sacks for Crawford, 9.5 for Brockers. I mean, these are potential Rookie of the Year numbers. We know how Madden values the sack. I value the sack pretty well, too. 7 sacks for Pierre Paul. Pick leader was Malcolm Butler with 4. A couple guys had 1. We don't make the playoffs again, which is all right, because I didn't think this year was going to be a playoff year. But I do think next year is a playoff year. I think it's going to take 5 seasons. That's just my prediction. Because I think that next year, year 4, after another good offseason, I think year number 4 is the year where we actually make the playoffs. Maybe we win the Super Bowl. I doubt it, but that's happened before. It's going to be Saints and Steelers in the Super Bowl this year. But year number 4 is usually the year where we're playoff contender. Sometimes we win it in year 4, sometimes we don't. It's possible. The Steelers win the Super Bowl 17-14 over the Saints. Stephon Tuitt is the MVP. Latavius Murray is the MVP of the league. Okay. And he also won Offensive Player of the Year. Khalil Mack wins Defensive Player of the Year. Dalvin Cook, he got Offensive Rookie of the Year. I think he already has X Factor, so it doesn't really matter, but still, that's awesome. And unfortunately, Solomon Thomas beat out Myles Garrett for Defensive Rookie of the Year, who also is on the Texans. Solomon Thomas on the Texans. The Texans are having quite the draft the past couple years. Let's get to negotiations because, fun fact, we don't have a lot of money. We don't not have a lot of money in salary this year. We're paying a lot of people a lot of money. $29 million is not that much to go on. It might be enough to bring back a couple of guys, but we're going to have to find out. I kind of want to bring back Jimmy Ward. I know he's not super high overall, but I kind of want him back. I don't know how much I'm going to have to give him. I'll give him that. He's going to come back perfect. So I didn't have to give him enough, or that much. Eric Reed, I definitely want back. I know we just signed just drafted Budda Baker, but I kind of want Eric Reed back. And he said no. Eric Reed said no, so I'll probably have to trade Eric Reed. I could franchise tag him, but why do that when I have Budda Baker? So I'll probably trade him, and I don't really want any of these guys back. So we're going to save that money. And I don't think I'm going to go into free agency and sign that many people because I'm scared that I'm going to run out of money for next year and then be screwed for the future. So I don't want to do that. So let's go and trade Justin Reed so at least we can get some value out of him before we lose him. All right, let's go and do this. And we can get not much for Justin Reed. Wow, I thought he'd be a little bit more valuable than that. I guess not. I mean, he's a 26-year-old free safety. I know he doesn't have any... he doesn't have a contract, but still. I'll throw in my 2020 first-round pick. Pair alongside it. Ooh, now we're talking. That 2020 first... Oh, because it's valued at pick number 1. That's why. It is valued at pick number 1. We can get some stuff. We can get some stuff. This is pretty cool. All right, well, we got to capitalize on this. We've got to capitalize on this. So I'm feeling that we trade up in this draft. It's the 2018 draft, so we got to keep that in mind. We don't want to trade for 2019, even though the picks look pretty good. We don't want to trade for 2019. Something like Tampa could be interesting. Something like Indianapolis, two picks, pick 5 and pick 37, which might actually be what I do, actually. That's a very good pick. I know we're not getting any picks for next year, but I'm hoping we don't need picks for next year. I'm hoping that we're just good to go on what we have. So I think I'm going to take that Colts pick, or those Colts picks. 2 2018 picks, a first and a second for Justin Reed in our 2020 first. I'm hoping that by 2020 we don't even do in this video. I'm hoping that we're done before that. So that's some good stuff right there. That's called trading your assets. Now we're going to save the money that we have. I will take a look at free agency just to make sure we're not missing out on anybody. Tom Brady. Are we missing out on anybody? Cam Chancellor's 30. Nah, I don't think we're missing out on anybody. We can let all these guys go. They're all kind of old. Last year's free agent class was a lot better for what we needed, I should say, because there was a lot of big name players in that class, but nobody that in a position that we need. I also should probably check and see on development upgrades, see if we have any depth traits that have changed. So let's go take a peek at the team. Now that we have the top 5, we have 2 top 5 picks now. All right, so we've got Dalvin Cook, who's superstar development, Kittle's superstar development, where offensive line is maybe needs a little bit of help in here because Tooney's playing center now. But the receiving core, I think, is pretty much done. We just need depth, it looks like. I let everybody go. I think we need depth, but the defensive line's pretty much done. That can win a championship. We need linebackers. We need linebackers, and we need offensive line. And then depth. So that's the goal. That's what we need to focus on in this draft. I might go into the draft and just sign a linebacker, a middle linebacker to back up Navarro Bowman. Hopefully somebody that's not super expensive. Like Nico Johnson. He shouldn't be that expensive. 2-year deal, 1.5, 1.5. You should probably accept that because you're not going to get any other offers, are you? Yeah, there you go. I didn't think so. So now at least we have somebody to back him up. It's not like we need to have backups because there's no injuries in this. But just aesthetically, it's nice to have a backup. Focus players. Who are we going to focus on? I didn't make a board this time because I didn't really think that we were going to need the draft this year. But now that we have these picks, we need offensive line, interior offensive line, and we need centers. So Frank Ragnow is going to be put on the list. Obviously, Quentin Nelson's going to be put on the list, and so is maybe Brandon Smith, maybe. And we also need linebackers. Roquan Smith, Darius Leonard, Tremaine Edmonds, Chandler Nwosu. We just did this draft class. It feels really recent to me. Probably because it is. Fred Warner. Well, no, Fred Warner's probably not high enough overall right away. We've got some talent. I will say that. We got some possible talent in this class at positions that we need. If we can come away with Quentin Nelson and Roquan Smith, I would call this a W of a draft. I would call this a W of a draft. First off, let's take a look at the mock draft. So we have not the first pick. Oh, that's right. We don't have the first pick. I was playing this like we had the first pick. Okay. We have 5 because we traded with the whatchamacallits, the Giants. So we have pick number 5 and we have pick number 12. Perfect. Quentin Nelson and Roquan Smith. That's exactly who I was going to take. I know Jai Alexander's available, but we need linebacker and guard, interior offensive line more than we need corner. So, and we have the 18th pick to take Darius Leonard. Whoa. There's a possibility that I could make a move or just stay and take Darius Leonard. I was going to say I could move up with one of my other picks, come away with Jai Alexander, and still get the other 2 guys that I want. That's a possibility. That is a very big possibility. We know that Bradley Chubb develops super well. Darius Leonard, definitely want to know how good he is. Who should I use this last one on? I feel like I should use it on somebody up here. Maybe Bradley Chubb. Maybe Jair. Oh, I'm already using it on Jair. Maybe Denzel Ward. But Denzel's going to go number 1 overall, so we probably won't have a chance to get him. I'll use it on Bradley Chubb. Jair, Darius Leonard, or Shaquille Leonard. He was Darius back then. And then the other guy, whoever we used it on. Okay, so if we could come away with Quentin Nelson, Roquan Smith, and somebody else, I would say that's a W draft. So Nelson's top 5, we knew that. Jair's top 5. So is Roquan. Bradley Chubb's round 1. And Shaq Leonard is round 1 to 2. How do we come away with everybody that I want? I know for a fact that I want Quentin Nelson, I want Roquan Smith. But how do I come away with either Jai Alexander or Bradley Chubb? That's the big question. That is the big question. Bradley Chubb is not going to go until pick number 9, or at least that's what he's projected. So we could trade up out of the 18th pick and get up to number 8 or something around there to be able to get Bradley Chubb. Or we could trade all the way up to get number 3 to get Jair, because we know Jair is going to be good. It's just a matter of do we want a #1 corner, or are we good with what we have? We could probably win a championship with the corners that we have. We have Malcolm Butler, we have Shaq Griffin, we have Desmond King, we have James Jones or Jonathan Jones, and we have Jalen Mills. It obviously would help to get ourselves a corner like Jair Alexander. That would obviously be really good. Man. How do we play this? How do we play this to get who we want? How do we play this to get who we want? I'm going to go and decide. So I will catch you guys when I figured out my plan. Okay, so I managed to get a few picks. I managed to trade up into a few different spots. So now we currently sit at 3, 4, and 8 in the first round. That is putting us in good position to get Jair Alexander, Quinnen Williams, and Roquan Smith. I think. I'm pretty sure, right? Did I screw it up? So we can get Jair Alexander, we can get Roquan Smith, and we can come away with Quentin Nelson. Probably not Bradley Chubb, but that's okay. I think we can live without it. I think we need those other players more than we need Bradley Chubb. So let's start drafting. We're going to pause the draft. The Eagles have the #1 overall pick. They take Denzel Ward. Number 2 overall pick is Baker Mayfield. We're going to come away with back-to-back picks here. And we're going to grab ourselves Jair Alexander, which is one guy that I rarely ever get. I'm happy that we're finally able to get him. So Jair Alexander is on the team now. Love to see it. That'll help the cornerback spot. And then the next pick is going to be... It would make sense for it to be Quentin Nelson, because I really don't want him to get taken, but I'm going to take Roquan Smith here because we need some outside linebacker help that is just going to be like a higher overall. So that is who we take there. Now the Cowboys are up at 5. They take Josh Allen. Browns take Quentin Nelson. I hate myself. I didn't think they'd actually take him. I really didn't think they'd actually take him. Okay. So now with Quentin Nelson off the table, God, I want to die right now. Now with Quentin Nelson off the table, I mean, we could grab Saquon, but we have Dalvin Cook. I feel like that'd just be a waste. I think the smartest thing to do is to take Bradley Chubb. I was going to take Bradley Chubb anyway, but then I wasn't going to take him because we weren't going to be able to get Quentin Nelson, but now we can't get Quentin Nelson. So Bradley Chubb is on the team now. We've seen him win Defensive Rookie of the Year plenty of times in these simulations, so might as well grab him. DJ Moore goes to the Steelers right at the end. I might have taken DJ Moore if he was available. Tremaine Edmonds and Leighton Vander Esch are both still here. Did Braden? No, he didn't make it. I thought he might have made it. He didn't make it. That's okay. I think the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take... How many? Do we have 2 second-round picks? We do. We have 3 second-round picks because we don't have a third-round pick. So I think the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take Leighton Vander Esch. Come away with another middle linebacker, another option at linebacker. Then we have pick number 5. So we will draft somebody. I'm probably going to grab Colton Miller here, and we can move him into guard if we need to. Or center. We can play him at center, I guess. And then we don't pick again until pick 12. Jesse Bates gets taken by the Bengals. That's fun. All right, we got to make this last pick count because we don't have another pick until the 4th, or the, what is it? Yeah, the 4th round. So we got to draft somebody here that's going to make a difference. The receivers, Cortland Sutton. No, I don't really need a receiver. We don't have a running back that we need. It's probably going to be... I mean, funny enough, we're going to come away with Darius Leonard, I think. I think we're going to come away with Darius Leonard in this one. I didn't think we were going to be able to, but yeah, we get him. Shaq Leonard, welcome to the squad. And now we'll simulate to the 4th round, and we will see who's on the board for us. Who is available? Let's go straight to center. Bradley Bozeman and Will Clapp. I'm going to take Bradley Bozeman. I don't know if he's going to be good. He's only normal development. He doesn't look that good. But he could be a starter for us. You never know. Go to the 5th round. I've never drafted Bradley Bozeman before either, so it's good to take him. A lot of corners on the boards. Not a surprise. Is there a sneaky pick down here? Doesn't look like it. I mean, J.C. Jackson. You know what? I'm taking J.C. Jackson now. If I wait again, I'm not going to get him. I'm going to take J.C. Jackson right now. I always wait too long, and then he's gone before I can get him. So we're going to grab him now. Go into the 6th round, our final pick. Our final pick of the draft is going to be somebody. Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? Philip Lindsay. Might as well. We know he's got guaranteed superstar development, so might as well make it Philip Lindsay. And we could use the backup running back. So, boom. Shako Lako. Not getting Quentin Nelson really hurts. That was the game plan. But I think we still came away, we managed to come away with quite the talented class. I mean, we got Jay Alexander, which is going to help us at corner. Roquan Smith's going to help us at linebacker. Bradley Chubb's going to help us at defensive line. Van Der Esch is going to be a good backup middle linebacker. We're going to move Colton Miller inside to the interior. I feel like we got ourselves quite the draft class. Quite the draft class, if I do say so myself. Quentin Nelson was the best player in the class. We knew that going in. Not a surprise. But we're good to go. We're good to go for Season 4. Like I said, I think Season 4 is finally when we're going to be able to compete. At least we should be competing. We shouldn't really have to worry. I do want to check quickly before we do the best lineup thing. I want to check our draft picks. Okay, so now we're out of first-round picks that we traded for, so now we're just back to our own. I just wanted to make sure. All right, let's go to the lineup and do some damage here. So, generate best lineup. Offense. Bradley Bozeman's going to start. Okay. I don't want that. Colton Miller is actually a 78 overall center, so we're going to make him the starting center. Kittle's going to start at tight end. We're going to have Cooper Kupp be the number 2 receiver. Tyreek Hill's going to be 3. And Juju is going to be right up there too. So, good for you, Juju. Okay, year 2 of Patrick Mahomes. On defense, Darius Leonard, Roquan Smith. I like that defense a lot, or that linebacking core a lot better. Pierre-Paul and Garrett. Jair, J.C. Jackson. I mean, the defense looks a lot better now. So, I really do think that this is going to be our year to compete. Maybe win a championship? I don't know. We'll find out when I simulate to the end of year 4 and we catch back up. We end Season 4 and we finally arrived at the playoffs. 12-5. I told you that this was going to be much improved. I told you it was going to be a much improved team. We're finally getting the playbook used. We're getting Mahomes more weapons, and he's proving that here with 4,000 yards, 27 touchdowns, 10 picks. He's finally starting to become the guy. And Dalvin Cook. I'm glad we didn't draft Saquon because Dalvin Cook is a very solid running back for us. 600 yards, 12 touchdowns is crazy. Cooper Kupp is getting a ton of usage. 1,200 yards, 8 touchdowns. Kittle's playing decent. Floyd's playing good. Love to see the offensive production. And then on defense, it's what I expected. Navarro Bowman leads with tackles, 164. Roquan Smith, 113. Jaquiski Tart, 103. J.C. Jackson, 102 as a rookie. Okay. Tackle for loss leader was Pierre-Paul with 18. 17 for Garrett. 16 for Brockers. Sack leader was Brockers with 13.5. 9 for Paul. 7 for Garrett and Chubb. And then Butler had 7 picks. 4 for Bowman. 3 for Alexander. 3 for Jackson. So those are your stats for season number 4. And we made the playoffs for the first time. So it's nice to actually have something to look forward to in the postseason. Are we going to move on? We do. 29-14 over the New York Giants. Now we take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the divisional round. It's Dolphins, Patriots, Chiefs, and Steelers, and then Cardinals versus Falcons, and us versus the Bucks. I think we can make a move. Let's see if we can do it. 12-5 versus 13-4. A trip to the NFC title game would be awesome. I don't know what's going to happen, though. 35-21, we win. Okay. Okay. And the Cardinals lost. The Cardinals went 14-3, and they lost to the Falcons, the 7th seed. It's a 6 versus 7 in the NFC Championship and a 1 versus 3. Oh, my God. We've got a chance to go to the Super Bowl here. Let me take a quick little look at our team. I want to see if we got any good morale boosts or anything. Let me see if we got any good morale boosts. So, we got ourselves... Oh, yeah. We got some good morale. We got some good morale on the team. Not a whole lot, but a little bit. A little bit of good morale from the boys. Alexander's going up. We're doing pretty good. We got a good enough team on defense to be able to carry us. And obviously, Mahomes has gotten some weapons. So, we've got ourselves quite the team now. All we got to do is beat the Falcons, which they're the 7th seed. We're the higher seed on paper. We're favorited. We should be able to get it done. Big game now. NFC title game. Falcons and 49ers. We put up a 44-piece on the Atlanta Falcons, and we are playing in the Super Bowl. We are playing in the Super Bowl against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Ooh, this is going to be quite the game. But they're only 10-7. They upset the Dolphins, didn't they? They upset the Dolphins. Yeah, the 1 seed dropped. They only scored 7 points. The 1 seed only scores 7 points. And it's a 6 versus 3 in the Super Bowl. This is going to be quite the game. I hope we can win it. I guess we'll have to wait and find out. 49ers and Steelers Super Bowl, just like the days of old. Let's see if we can take this one in year number 4. 13-7 Steelers are on top, but we come back with a field goal. I'd prefer a little bit more than that. Steelers get another touchdown. There we go. 19-17, 19-20. Good year. Can we get the job done here? Kick a field goal. Oh, score a touchdown is even better. But the Steelers score a touchdown as well. We give the ball back to Pittsburgh. They give it back to us. 4th and 3. We kicked a field goal. That's massive. And I think we got the ball back again. Yeah, we do. We have the ball back again. We give it back to them. And we score. Wait, what happened? A fumble recovery by Bradley Chubb for a touchdown. The Pittsburgh Steelers are going to lose. Oh, my God. The Pittsburgh Steelers are going to lose the game. And your San Francisco 49ers are going to win a Super Bowl here in year number 4 of the franchise. I told you that we'd be playoff ready by year 4. I didn't think we'd be Super Bowl ready by year 4. But it looks like that's what's going to happen here as the San Francisco 49ers. I mean, we've built quite the team, to be fair. We have built quite the team. We got Jay Alexander. We got Myles Garrett. We got Bradley Chubb. We got Jason Pierre-Paul. Navarro Bowman. All our corners are really good. Our safeties are good. It's not a shock that we're winning the Super Bowl here. But it is. Play can't end on a penalty, defensive penalty. I hate myself. Why did I do that? I just gave the Steelers a chance here. I just gave the Steelers a chance. Although it's a 10-point game, they literally can't win. So it's not the end of the world. But I just wish that would have ended the game. I just wish that they would have ended the game here. But there's one untimed down in the Super Bowl. Let's see what happens. To the end zone. It's going to be knocked incomplete by a couple of different players. But there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. A Super Bowl for the city of San Francisco for the first time in a long time. All we needed was Patrick Mahomes. I told you once we got the quarterback, the team would be figured out. We got the weapons around Mahomes. Dalvin Cook was amazing, putting up 1,600 yards. We built the team very well. Mahomes gets a championship. We built the team very, very well. Especially the defense. The defense is something I'm pretty proud of. I like the defense that we put together. Getting Jason Pierre-Paul. He was a huge signing. Getting Jason Pierre-Paul, drafting Jay Alexander, as you can see, he's on the stage. Getting Myles Garrett, obviously. Shaq Leonard and Roquan Smith were huge as rookies. Drafting Budda Baker and then moving on from Justin Reed was a big move. Or Eric Reed, not Justin Reed, Eric Reed. And trading that 2020 first-round pick turns out to be the best big brain move that I ever made, because that was able to give us a third first-round pick in this past draft, which in turn turned into Roquan Smith and Jai Alexander and Darius Leonard and all these guys that we drafted. So we win a championship. The rebuild is finished. We'll go to the season recap to see who won all the awards, and then we will wrap up the video. So take a look at season recap. We got ourselves Bradley Chubb, the MVP of the Super Bowl, because he took that fumble for a touchdown. Cam Newton wins MVP of the league. Latavius Murray, back-to-back Offensive Player of the Year. Maybe we'll have to look into Latavius Murray in a future rebuild. Robert Quinn wins Defensive Player of the Year. Sony Michel wins Offensive Rookie of the Year for the Browns. And J.C. Jackson gets Defensive Rookie of the Year for the 49ers. So we come away with another Defensive Rookie of the Year. And we got ourselves quite the team, quite the rebuild. You love to see it. All we needed was the quarterback. I knew that if we put the right weapons, or put good enough weapons around a good quarterback, obviously we were going to win a championship, and Mahomes was that guy. We drafted Dalvin Cook. He turned out to be awesome. Signing Anthony Costanzo might have been an underrated pickup, because that allowed us to draft Colton Miller and put him at center, and then the offensive line was pretty much finished at that point. Also signing Andre Smith was good as well. Drafting George Kittle was awesome. And then the defense, this might be one of my favorite defenses I've ever put together, because we got Jai Alexander, we've got Roquan Smith, who I don't think I ever had, Darius Leonard, or Shaq Leonard, Myles Garrett, Bradley Chubb, J.C. Jackson, Michael Brockers is now superstar development, Jason Pierre-Paul. This team could go back-to-back. This team could very well go back-to-back, but we're not going to find out, because that is the end of the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I truly appreciate it. Like I said at the beginning, if you have any other suggestions for teams you want to see me take on, you guys know the mods that I have at this point, so if you want to see a team, suggest it down below, and I will see if I can take them on in the future. Without further ado, it's time to end the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I truly appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.